Your photo reached the wrong hands. Michael intercepts what was meant to shame you and turns it into favor. Archangel Michael says, what they meant for your shame will be the reason they speak your name with respect. The shadows thought they had cornered you, using a single photograph as their weapon. But the heavens moved faster than their scheme, intercepting it before the damage could root itself. It started quietly. Someone you once trusted passed your image into hands that thrive on gossip and destruction. Their intention was not simple mischief, it was calculated harm. They wanted whispers to grow into storms, for your dignity to bend under the weight of ridicule. Michael stepped forward in the unseen realm the moment your image traveled through hidden channels. The energy that carried it shifted in midair, turning venom into light. What was intended to soil your name began to glow with an aura that made people curious, even admiring. Those who first saw it expected to laugh, to point, to drag your worth through dirt. Instead, their lips hesitated, their eyes lingered, their minds saw something different: strength, beauty, mystery. The smear became a spotlight. Type Amen to get blessing 333. You were never meant to know the details of how this interception happened. But in heaven's timing, nothing escapes the hands of the appointed protector. What slipped past you was met by Michael's sword, slicing the chain of damage before it could wrap around you. Someone is restless tonight because the plan they nursed for weeks collapsed in silence. They expected fireworks of scandal, but only the quiet hum of your rising favor has filled the air. This reversal unsettles them more than confrontation ever could. Your steps today are being watched by people who never noticed you before. Some are drawn by admiration, others by curiosity, but all feel the pull that the transformed energy now carries. You are becoming a topic not for shame, but for inspiration. Michael says, you are walking proof that no scheme can hold its power when light commands the room. Even those who doubted you are beginning to shift in their thoughts, unsure how their perception changed so quickly. Type Amen to receive blessing 102. The same image they wanted to use as a weapon has now become a seal of favor. Certain people are even speaking your name in circles you have never entered. Opportunities are stirring quietly, waiting for the right moment to step forward. They thought your weakness would be exposed. Instead, the image reflected your resilience, your depth, your untold story. It carried a hidden strength that no malicious tongue could erase. In private spaces, they are wondering how this could happen. How the storm they sent transformed into the wind beneath your steps. The truth is, heaven's interception does not just stop harm, it rewrites the meaning entirely. Michael is walking beside you now, ensuring that each echo of this moment builds your standing higher. Nothing about this will leave you diminished. Type Amen to get blessing 721. Your rising is making the wrong hands uneasy. The same people who gripped that photo with glee now keep it buried, unsure of its new power. Their silence is not out of mercy, it is out of fear of your untouchable glow. Whispers have started to turn in your favor. People who once ignored you are now defending you without fully knowing why. This is how divine reversal works, it changes the current without warning. A seed of envy is sprouting in those who tried to harm you. They cannot accept that their effort only polished your image instead of breaking it. But they will have to live with the truth that they became unwilling servants to your rise. Michael says, every scheme that touches you will pass through my hands first. And I decide its fate. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They do not realize yet that this is only the first interception. More is coming, more attempts, more plans, but the shield is already in place. This is not a single rescue, this is the start of an unshakable pattern in your life. Even strangers are sensing that something about you cannot be tainted. There's a resilience in your energy now, a mark of protection that follows wherever you step. Those who know what they tried will feel the sting of watching you glow brighter. Your photo, once a potential trap, is now almost legendary in certain circles. People are drawn to it without knowing why. It carries the imprint of heaven's touch. The tables are not just turned, they are bolted down in your favor. The ripple effect of this interception is still moving. What they tried to bury you with has become the very reason you stand taller. People who never had your name in their mouth now speak it with a different weight, one of recognition. Those who saw the image at first glance now replay it in their minds, realizing it tells a story far beyond the frame. They see dignity where slander was meant, grace where mockery was planned. This shift in perception is no accident, it is the hand of protection rewriting the narrative. The sender of that photo expected to be the puppeteer, pulling strings to make you dance in humiliation. Instead, the strings fell limp, and the stage lights turned to them, leaving them exposed to their own shadows. Some of your silent supporters have already begun to step forward. They feel compelled to defend you without being asked, drawn by a pull they can't explain. This is the quiet work of heaven, turning bystanders into allies. Type Amen to get blessing 184. In places you have never walked, your image now rests on tables where decisions are made. People are intrigued, not by scandal, but by the aura that surrounds your name. They sense strength, courage, and something untouchable that words alone cannot define. The one who first passed the photo feels the weight of confusion pressing on their chest. They were ready to watch your downfall like a show, but now, they can't understand why you're the one stepping into brighter rooms. Their silence is their admission of defeat. The wrong hands that gripped your image tightly now keep it hidden, almost as if it burns to touch. They underestimated the fire you carry, one that consumes any plan to disgrace you. Archangel Michael says, "No weapon of image, word, or thought will stand against the one under my guard. What enters my sight will bow to my command." Type Amen to get blessing 992. There's a shift in the atmosphere around you. People are watching more closely, but this attention does not feel like danger, it feels like an opening, a step into a stage you were meant to claim. What they plotted has instead unlocked doors. An invitation is forming, one that will take you into spaces that your enemies never imagined you would stand in. Each time they tried to speak ill of you, they stumbled over their own words. The story they rehearsed doesn't fit the reality anymore, because the light in you is louder than their accusation. Your strength has not gone unnoticed. Even those who doubted you before are beginning to reassess, silently shifting into quiet respect. Type Amen to get blessing 640. You may not have seen the chain of events in the unseen realm, but Michael was present at every turn. He caught the image in its flight and surrounded it with a shield of divine reversal. This is why instead of whispers tearing you down, there is an undercurrent of admiration rising up around you. The energy has flipped completely, and it's working in your favor now. The hands that meant harm are now restless at night, replaying the moment they shared that image. They cannot take it back, and yet they cannot move forward with their plan either. Your presence now carries an unexplainable authority. You don't even need to defend yourself, your very existence is the answer to their attempt. Type Amen to get blessing 517. Even in rooms where you are not present, your name is spoken with an edge of wonder. They can't quite put their finger on why your image has gained this glow, but they know they can't deny it. Opportunities are aligning, ones you didn't even apply for. Invitations are being prepared to bring you into circles that were previously closed off to you. The same image they intended to bury you with will soon be displayed in a place of honor. People will associate it not with scandal, but with your strength and your story. Archangel Michael says, they will watch from the shadows as the very tool they formed becomes the emblem of your rise. Type Amen to get blessing 308. What they wanted to use to make you small has instead expanded your presence. Even strangers are starting to feel a certain respect when your name is mentioned. This reversal is not just a one-time miracle, it is the start of a pattern in your life. Every attempt against you will be met with the same interception and transformation. The person who set this in motion is now afraid to even look you in the eye. They see the strength you carry now, and it reminds them of their own failure. And deep inside, they know, this was never just a coincidence. Something bigger than them stepped in, and that something will not stop. Type Amen to get blessing 455. The silence of those who plotted is not peace, it is fear. They do not speak your name the same way anymore, because every time they try, the taste of defeat sits heavy in their mouth. In their eyes, you are no longer someone they can manipulate. You have become a presence they have to work around, and that terrifies them more than any confrontation could. They thought the image would haunt you. Now it haunts them, because it reminds them of the power they cannot touch. The moment Michael intercepted what was meant to harm you, he didn't just protect you, he stamped a seal on your life that warns every unseen enemy not to cross the line again. Type Amen to get blessing 744. Your favor is rising quietly, like the tide before a storm, and it will soon be impossible to ignore. People who once looked past you will suddenly find themselves drawn to work with you, to speak well of you, to be associated with your name. In private rooms, they are wondering how you've managed to walk through this untouched. Some think you have powerful earthly allies, but the truth is far greater. You have a covering that no scandal, no betrayal, no image can pierce. That covering is alive, moving ahead of you, blocking paths meant to trap you. Archangel Michael says, they will never see the moment I step in, but they will always feel the results. Type Amen to get blessing 581. Even now, a certain person is reconsidering their opinion of you. They saw the photo with their own eyes, but what they felt wasn't mockery, it was a strange respect they can't explain. It's as if the image carried a truth their mind didn't expect. And now, instead of believing the whispers, they are questioning the motives behind them. Your life is becoming a testimony of how quickly the tide can turn. The same people who plotted your embarrassment are now fighting to control the story before it slips away completely. But it's too late. The story no longer belongs to them, it belongs to you. Type Amen to get blessing 266. The unseen realm has already shifted in your favor. You are walking under an open gate of favor that no human hand can shut. In days to come, you will notice how often you are invited into spaces where your presence feels surprisingly welcomed. This is not random, it is the result of what happened the moment Michael intercepted that image. You carry something now that commands respect without you asking for it. That is why people are stepping back, reevaluating, and treating you differently. Those who once tried to make you small are beginning to fade into the background, powerless to stop the rise they accidentally started. Type Amen to get blessing 918. The photograph they thought would chain you has become your banner. Even those who don't know the full story can sense that it carries a deeper meaning. And because of that, your name is moving through networks, reaching people who will open doors for you. What they tried to bury you with will be the very key that lifts you higher. Some of your enemies are beginning to turn on each other. They can't agree on who is to blame for this failure, and suspicion is eating away at their unity. While they are busy destroying themselves, you are stepping forward, untouched. Type Amen to get blessing 407. A season is ending for you, the season where lies had power over your name. From here, every attempt to stain your reputation will be intercepted before it can take root. You may not see Michael's hand in every moment, but you will feel the results. The road ahead is clearing, one obstruction at a time, until you are standing in a place that even you didn't expect to reach this soon. The wrong hands are now trembling, because they realize the cost of touching what belongs to you. They see that your protection is not just luck, it is law in the unseen world. Archangel Michael says, they can watch from afar, but they will never again hold the power to harm you. Type Amen to get blessing 536. Your enemies now live in a strange silence. It is not because they have found peace, but because every move they make feels like it could backfire. They are learning, slowly, painfully, that touching your name comes with a cost they cannot afford. You are no longer the target they once thought you were. You have become the proof that divine protection is not just a story, but a living reality. The moment they reached for your downfall, their own downfall began. They tried to turn you into a laughingstock. Now, their own circles whisper about their failure, and the shame they wanted for you has circled back to their door. What they wanted to spread in darkness now moves in light, carrying a different message entirely, one of resilience, grace, and unexpected victory. Type Amen to get blessing 642. The ripple effect of this reversal is still spreading. Even people who have never met you are beginning to hear your name in favorable ways. They are curious, intrigued, and quietly impressed by how you carry yourself through the storm. Some who had doubted you are now defending you behind closed doors. They feel an unspoken urge to protect you, to align with you, without even knowing the full story. This is how favor works, it draws people in, turning strangers into silent supporters. And in your case, it is working faster than anyone expected. Archangel Michael says, your rise will not be quiet, but it will be untouchable. Type Amen to get blessing 883. In the days ahead, you will notice opportunities unfolding that trace back to this very moment. The photograph they meant to use against you is now working for you in ways they could never control. Someone is planning to present you with a chance that could shift your path entirely. They are not doing it out of pity, they are doing it because they see value, potential, and an unshakable presence in you. Your enemies will watch this unfold, powerless to stop it, knowing deep down that they were the ones who placed this chain of events into motion. Their attempt to bury you became the seed for your blooming. And the blooming has only just begun. Type Amen to get blessing 219. The shield over you is not temporary. This is the new standard for your life. What is meant for harm will be intercepted, transformed, and sent back as favor. Even those who have not spoken to you in years may suddenly reappear, drawn by the light you carry now. But not everyone returning is meant to stay, some are only coming to witness what they cannot undo. Your photo may have reached the wrong hands, but Michael made sure it was never in the wrong control. Every step of its journey was rewritten, until the very power it carried was shifted into your advantage. This is why your path feels different now, because it is. Type Amen to get blessing 731. In the places where your name was once dragged through whispers, it is now spoken with caution. Those who still carry envy keep their thoughts locked away, too afraid to test what happened before. The circles that once excluded you are now opening. Not because they have changed their hearts completely, but because they cannot deny the influence and respect you are gathering. Even in the unseen realm, your reputation is glowing brighter. There is an energy around you that pushes back every attempt to diminish you. And every time you take a step forward, the ground itself seems to prepare for you. Type Amen to get blessing 402. They will try again, some in subtle ways, others in open moves, but every effort will meet the same fate. Michael's interception will remain constant, swift, and final. Your story is no longer one of survival, it is becoming one of strategic, unstoppable ascent. You are not just overcoming, you are rising in ways that will make your enemies wish they had never touched you. The irony is that they gave you the very momentum you needed. By trying to shame you, they put you in front of the very eyes that now admire you. And this is only the beginning. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Your presence now carries weight in places where it once went unnoticed. People are rethinking their opinions, reshaping their words, and adjusting their actions when you walk into the room. They are learning that you are not someone to underestimate. Every conversation about you feels different now. Even those who wanted to join the mockery feel an unease when they try to speak against you. It's as if the very air warns them to keep quiet. The ones who passed your image around for sport are beginning to avoid your gaze. They sense that something has shifted and that the balance of power is no longer in their favor. In their hearts, they know they've lost control of the story. Type Amen to get blessing 684. The reversal is so complete that some people have started to wonder if you had planned it all along. They don't realize it was the unseen hand of heaven moving faster than their schemes. This protection is not fragile, it is layered, unbreakable, and constant. Every path they try to open against you closes before it can even be walked upon. Your life is a testament now, not just to endurance, but to transformation. What was intended to tear you down is now the very reason you stand taller. Archangel Michael says, every attempt against you will serve your rise. Every shadow will be turned into light. Type Amen to get blessing 317. The ripple of this interception is moving further than you think. People in higher places are taking notice, intrigued by the resilience you've shown. They see someone who has been through the fire and emerged refined. A certain opportunity is forming quietly, one that will place you in front of influential eyes. This is not luck, this is the redirection of harm into destiny. Even those who would never admit it out loud are beginning to respect you. And respect, once gained, is a power that cannot be taken back. The very act meant to shame you has become your silent introduction to a wider world. Type Amen to get blessing 770. The wrong hands that held your image are now empty. They can no longer use it against you because the meaning has been stripped away and replaced with honor. In fact, they are now afraid of what might happen if they try again. Their last attempt left them humiliated, and they are beginning to believe that every move against you will only lift you higher. There is no undoing what has been done. The shift is permanent, and it has anchored itself into your life. You are not returning to where you were before, this has placed you on a higher path. Type Amen to get blessing 592. The more they try to erase your glow, the brighter you seem to become. Every closed door now leads to another that is already opening. Even those who don't know the details can feel the strength around you. It's a quiet but undeniable energy that keeps growing, making it harder for anyone to challenge you openly. This is not just protection, it is acceleration. Every plan against you is being recycled into fuel for your progress. And the pace of your rise is about to quicken. Type Amen to get blessing 825. Archangel Michael says, "The story they began is now in my hands, and I will finish it in your favor." His presence around you ensures that no image, no word, no whisper can undo what has already been established. The photo they once gripped so tightly is now just a memory of their failure. They no longer speak of it proudly, they hide it like a wound they don't want seen. And you? You continue to walk forward, untouched, carrying the quiet satisfaction of knowing that the outcome was rewritten before it even reached you. This is the power of divine interception. Type Amen to get blessing 451. They will watch as more doors open for you in the months ahead. Invitations will come from unexpected places, and alliances will form that they cannot break apart. The more they realize they cannot stop you, the more their energy will turn inward, tearing themselves apart from the inside. Meanwhile, your path will keep clearing, your influence will keep growing, and your name will keep traveling further than you ever imagined. This is your season, and nothing can turn it back. Type Amen to get blessing 990. From this point forward, every attempt to undermine you will only deepen your roots. You have become unshakable, and the very people who tried to weaken you now feel the weight of your strength. The shame they wanted for you has transformed into their own quiet humiliation. Even when they gather together, the conversation always circles back to their failure. And though they may try to disguise it, you can feel the shift in the air. They approach you differently now, not with arrogance, but with caution. Type Amen to get blessing 624. The photograph they once clung to like a weapon has no edge anymore. It is an image stripped of its intended power, glowing with the mark of divine protection. People who were supposed to mock you now find themselves speaking well of you. It is not because they suddenly love you, it is because they are influenced by a force greater than their intentions. Opportunities have started moving toward you without your pursuit. The current has changed, and it is carrying you to places you could not have reached alone. Archangel Michael says, "The tide has turned, and it will never again flow against you." Type Amen to get blessing 557. Every move you make now will feel guided, almost as if the steps are being placed beneath your feet before you take them. This is the result of what was intercepted. The path is not only clear, it is blessed. Those who are still hoping for your downfall will have to watch in silence as you rise. Each success will press against their envy, but there is nothing they can do to change the direction you are headed. Even your presence now commands attention. You no longer need to defend yourself, your very existence has become the answer to every lie. This is the permanence of the reversal. Type Amen to get blessing 882. Your story is not ending here, it is entering its most visible chapter yet. The photo that traveled through wrong hands is now carrying your name into rooms of influence. Connections will form because of it. Invitations will come that will lead to more than you ever planned for. And each one will carry the echo of the moment Michael stepped in to turn harm into honor. You will look back on this time and see it not as a wound, but as the pivot point that set you on a higher path. The very hands that tried to break you will be the reason you flourish. Type Amen to get blessing 431. So walk forward now without fear. The trap has been dismantled, the shame reversed, and the favor sealed over your life. You are untouchable in ways they cannot understand, and unstoppable in ways they cannot prevent. From this moment on, every shadow sent toward you will meet the same fate. It will be intercepted, transformed, and returned as light. And the light will always be yours. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The air around you is no longer the same. There's a weight of authority in your presence, something unspoken yet deeply felt. People may not know the full story, but they know enough to sense that you are not to be touched. Those who once laughed at the thought of you rising are now watching in a stunned silence. Every new opportunity you receive is like a quiet strike against their pride. They wanted you to fall, but instead, you are climbing. The very hands that once passed your photo like a piece of gossip now hesitate to even bring your name up. It is as if speaking it carries consequences they are not willing to face. The reversal has been sealed, and there is no undoing it. Type Amen to get blessing 712. Even the places where you were once overlooked have begun to open. Invitations, acknowledgments, and silent nods of respect are now following you into every space. The shift is so evident that those closest to you can feel it too. They may not have seen the battle in the unseen realm, but they see the results with their own eyes. Archangel Michael says, "You have crossed the line where harm becomes favor. No one can pull you back." His voice in the unseen world is still guarding the borders of your destiny. What was meant to humiliate you is now the very proof that you are chosen. Type Amen to get blessing 336.